Hello and welcome back. In my previous video called Complete Randomness, believe that's what it was called, I had showed a whole bunch of different things that I've collected over the past month. And wouldn't you know it, I put some records on my shelf that I was going to show in the video, and I forgot that I did that, so I didn't get a chance to show them in that video. So I thought I'd take this opportunity. Let's see, there's only 5 here, so it's going to be a pretty short video, I think. So I figured I'd just show them and get them out of the way so you guys can see what I picked up. So I went to my local record store, and I usually like to flip through their new arrivals in the used section. There wasn't a whole lot there that I wanted to get, but I did pick out a couple. And the first one was, this is the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, but it's not by the Beatles. This is the soundtrack to the Peter Frampton and Bee Gees film. Was released 1978, and I've actually not seen this film before. I really want to see it, but I've never actually been able to catch it. I've never picked it up on DVD or anything like that. I have heard several of the tracks off of this soundtrack, and I do like some of them. Got to Get You Into My Life by Earth, Wind & Fire. I know that's on their greatest hits album. And Come Together by Aerosmith, that's on their first greatest hits album. I really like listening to those. And there's just several other ones on here that I think are good. As far as the film itself, like I said, I've never seen it personally, but pretty much everyone that mentions it says it's just a terrible film, but I'd kind of like to form my own opinion if I could. So eventually I'm going to just end up having to pick it up and check it out for myself. I'm sure it's not terribly expensive. So here's the inner sleeve. Got a picture of the Bee Gees and Peter Frampton there. And this is a Stigwood production, just like Saturday Night Live, or Saturday Night Live. Saturday Night Fever was. I didn't think that was a terrible film, so. And it's a 2 record set. The other record is basically the same layout there. So. And then another one that they had in the rack there. I'm kind of a Dr. Hook fan, and I saw this one there, Dr. Hook Revisited. I like a lot of the songs from those guys. And the cover here says Dr. Hook Revisited, but the record itself actually is titled The Best of Dr. Hook. It's kind of a greatest hits, an early greatest hits collection. So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that's maybe a later pressing. That I think this originally said The Best of Dr. Hook. Maybe I might be wrong on that, but so then that was, well, it's maybe been a month since I picked those 2 up, and I don't think I showed those in a previous video, but if I did, I apologize for showing them again. I just couldn't remember. I looked back and I didn't see them in there, so. So then, just last week, I was in the record store again, and like I said, as always, I go over to the new arrivals in the used section, and they had a lot of good stuff in there, but it was a lot of, really popular stuff in there, so they're asking a lot of money for it because it was all newer somewhat, and it was all in shrink. It was just really in good condition, so they're asking a lot. I didn't really have that much to spend at the time. But one thing I see quite a lot when I'm flipping through the Beatles section in record stores, I see this collection a lot, and I always kind of wonder, it's like, should I get it? Shouldn't I? I know some of the songs, I've heard some of these on there before, but this time I decided, what the heck, I'll just pick it up. It was relatively cheap. It's called All This and World War II. Now, from what I understand about this, it is a soundtrack to a film of the same name, which basically features newsreel footage and things like that from the World War II era, with cover songs of Beatles music as the soundtrack. I did a little bit of research, I guess. I mean, I kind of looked it up to see if the film itself was actually released on DVD or VHS or anything like that. And from what I can find, it was never actually officially released on DVD. There's been some bootlegs out there, I guess. But from what I've read, it's not really worth seeing the film. So the album itself actually did chart, I think. You know, it was popular enough to actually get into the charts. It's a 2-album collection. As you can see here, mine's from the cutout bin back in the day. So that's kind of the gatefold there. And I'll just show you one of the 2 records. They're both pretty much the same. They got these blue 20th Century Records sleeves. And then they got the 20th Century label. That's never really been one of my favorite labels. Kind of bland, I always thought. And it also does come with this booklet that I'll kind of show you a little quickly, but it's kind of interesting. It still has the insert in here. There's a little flyer here where you can get an All This in World War II t-shirt if you just send in, let's see, send in $4.50 plus 75 cents postage, and you can get that awesome All This in World War II t-shirt. I'll have to be sure and send that in and get that. And here's the book. So it's got the artist and lyrics for each song on each page, and they got kind of a little artist picture there. Oh yeah, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds by Elton John. That's a good one from this one. I know some of these are, I think some of these I've heard a few times on the Beatles Sirius XM channel, where they play, you know, Beatles cover by a different artist. I think I've heard several of these on there. Some of them are good, some of them could be better. But anyway, that's pretty much what the whole booklet is. I don't need to go through the whole thing. So after I went through the new arrivals in the used section, I glanced over and I saw they had 4 big boxes sitting there of discounted record store day releases that they still had, you know, left over from different record store days. So I decided to go and check that out, and I was surprised to find this one in there. I had looked at this at record store day, and I was gonna get it, but it was kind of high priced for what it was. So this is the Rolling Stones. It's a limited edition colored vinyl single. And when I say single, I really do mean single. It's just one song on a 10-inch vinyl record. It's She's a Rainbow Live. This was from live at U Arena in Paris from 2017. So kind of thought it was a bizarre release, I guess. I don't know. So one song on colored vinyl. It's just got a white paper sleeve. So the first side, we got the yellow vinyl here with the song. And then the second side is just blank, no etching or anything like that, just a blank glossy vinyl with a She's a Rainbow label on it. But it was in the discount bin at this record store, and it was a fairly decent price for what it actually was, so I decided to pick it up. And something completely out of the ordinary for me, maybe. Something you might not expect me to have in my record collection, but lately I've been really getting into her music, and that's Taylor Swift. This is Speak Now. This was a record store day release. I don't remember which year this came out. 2010. I think that's just when the record was released. But anyway, this is a double LP and it's on colored vinyl, and it's a numbered edition. This one's 3,518 out of 7,000. The gatefold here. It says it's smoke gray vinyl. I think that's what it's called. I put the sticker in here. Exclusive smoke vinyl. To me, it's just clear, I guess. Yeah, that's record 1. And she did just come out with another new album a month or so ago, maybe 2 months by now. Here's the second record. This one's a little bit more smoky than the first one, I guess. Yeah, she did just come out with a new album within the last month or two called Lover, and I've really been enjoying that album. And I realized that Target, it was never released on vinyl, but Target has an exclusive that's going to be released later this month in November. So I pre-ordered that. It's on colored vinyl and everything, so I decided I was going to pick that up too. So I'm sure when I get it, I will show it to you guys and let you see it. So anyway, this is just some more complete randomness from my vinyl pickups over the last month. So I hope there was something you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.